What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are back with career mode, part number 32. The German Grand Prix. We have now lapped the real life F1 series because they're at the German Grand Prix this weekend, so it's pretty crazy the amount of progress we have made. Can anyone guess what year or what game this music is from? Shout out to anyone who can get it. Hopefully you guys don't let me down. But here we are for the German Grand Prix. Haas with some big boy upgrades. They are nearly off the scale with the amount of development they've been making in the last few races. They look like the team to beat. Hopefully they can show their true potential this race and can get in the mix with the likes of Mercedes, Ferrari, and possibly take some points away from those guys. Because I really want to see a 4 or 5-way team fight for the World Drivers' Championship. And as things are standing at the moment, we might get that. Daniel Ricciardo, very pacey there in P7 with hard compound tyres. That really stood out to me. But our package, as of late, has been very, very strong. We top FP2, only marginally over Lucas Weber, though it is only early days, and we don't know just how fast that Haas could be once they turn everything up to the maximum. So, heading into the German Grand Prix, be an interesting race. We had the major engine upgrade go on the car. I forgot to mention that, but yes, that is now a thing. So straight line performance should be pretty darn amazing versus all of those around us. We still don't look that great when you look at the car performance chart. We're like not even like in the top 4 or 5 in terms of the best car, but the gap is not much at all. We are very, very close to the top. Alfa Romeo is ahead of us. That's mad. But anyway, it's time for the German Grand Prix in qualifying. Let's do it.
Welcome to Germany for today's qualifying session at the famous Hockenheimring. The pit lane lights will turn green in the next minute or two to signify the start of qualifying.
One thing I was meant to do was actually do a mod that would put the 125-year anniversary for Mercedes on the car. But I stupidly went ahead and did this weekend without even remembering to do the mod, so we'll have to do that maybe in Season 3. But anyway, here we are for qualifying. Now we're going to see what the true pace of our car is like, what Haas can do, and it'll be a very interesting affair. For the race, I believe it is raining for the majority of the race. Only like 1 or 2 quadrants towards the end are going to be dry, so it's going to be an interesting affair. We don't need to worry about tyres in Saturday qualifying, so I'm just going to go full send with the 3 sets of softs that I do have. But at the moment you can see pace is okay. I think we were up on Hulkenberg's time to the middle sector. Bit of a scrappy final one though. You can see we ran wide and got a bit sideways. We come across the line and it's only P13 in the first part of qualifying, so that is somewhat alarming. But seeing Daniel Ricciardo right up there, only 3/10 away, finds himself in P8. The closeness of the field right now is insane. Like, one slightly bad lap like mine and you're P13, in danger of nearly getting knocked out in qualifying. It's quite crazy, but still, Ricciardo only 3/10 away, and he's nearly outside the top 10. It's incredible. We move on to Q2. Did a banker time on my used set of soft compound tyres. Just trying to save 2 sets for Q3 if we get there. But we're fast forwarding to the end of the session, and we're going to hopefully bang in a time that'll secure us well inside the top 10 and into qualifying 3. So, first sector, we're a 10th down. Could have been a little bit better, to be honest. I do feel very much in the groove around this circuit. I have been doing a lot of practice. I did the weekly events for multiplayer. F1 Esports has got an event here at the moment as well, so I did a lot of sweating for that. I've got a pretty good setup nailed down, and I feel very much in the groove, so we shall see what we can muster up in this race weekend. One thing I will say is we were losing a lot of time in the third sector when I was analysing the data, so I had to move the wings up from 2.4 to 3.5. Might even need to move them up a little bit higher in order to be competitive. We're 2.5 up on the best time set so far by Lucas Weber, coming up to a little bit of traffic in the third sector, but hopefully that won't disrupt us too much through to the final couple of corners. Missed the apex there ever so slightly. We get a nice run through the last corner, open the DRS, and up to the line. Will it be Q3? Will it be Q3? No, it's not. We are out in qualifying 2 of the German Grand Prix. We were purple in the first 2 sectors. This is very reminiscent of France, where we were fast on the straights and stuff, but through the twisty bits, absolutely nowhere. Ricardo is right up there with a 109.3. That's insane. So looking at the sector times, Daniel's best sector 3 is a 21.0. We come to ours, and it's a 21.7. We're 7 tenths off in the final sector of the lap. That is insane. You know, I did miss the second to last corner's apex by literally a smidgen, but that doesn't make up for 7 tenths. That is unbelievable. It was a really good sector otherwise, so I don't really know where that time has been lost. The AI just absolutely insane in the 3rd sector. Maybe I'm not running enough downforce, but 3.5 you would have thought was enough. In Silverstone we ran 4.6, and you know, there we had a dominant car, to be honest. So really confused as to how that has transpired. That is me naturally not making it through to the next session because I'm too slow. So yeah, absolute travesty. We're going to head into the race now. It's going to be wet. Not too sure about pace in the wet because, yeah, since the patch, things have changed a little bit with the AI. They seem to be a bit stronger in changeable conditions, but we'll see. We're going to chuck in a new energy store, and we're going to go to this race, and hopefully we can get ourselves back to the front in this German Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to a place that is very special to us all in the Formula One community. It's the Hockenheimring, home of the German Grand Prix. Always good for a close scrap is Hockenheim. Think back to Alonso, Ricardo, Vettel as recently as 2014, and I'm expecting some more strong racing today.
Not a great starting position for us, but hopefully we can improve the situation throughout the race.
Okay, so I had to take a break halfway through this video. I just watched qualifying, and I've seen the results of what happened. Oh my god, Ferrari. What have you done? Really just don't know what to say. Hopefully they can bounce back tomorrow. But getting back to this video, let's see if we can bounce back from our horrible grid position at the moment. Maybe this will be an omen for what Ferrari might do tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. It's a full wet race, and I'm not really sure how the pace is going to unfold for us. 5 red lights, and away we go for the German Grand Prix. Very slow getaway for everyone up and down the field, but we head into turn 1 pretty much uncontested. That Alfa Romeo going clean around the outside of me there, so Giovinazzi with an outstanding amount of confidence and grip around the outside of turn 1. Fair play to you, son. That's got to be one of the moves of the career mode, and we can see Giovinazzi not giving us any space at turn 2. I was getting closer and closer to the apex, and Giovinazzi was not there. It was not giving us any space. I had to take to the grass to not make contact, so thanks for that one, pal. I really appreciate it. But settling into this race, I feel like the pace is a little bit off at this stage. Car feels like it's a little bit of a handful. Maybe, again, not running too much downforce, which may hamper things, but if anything, it should make us a bit of a weapon in a straight line. We should be able to overtake cars with ease, but at the moment, just struggling to lay some power down, and that is why the rear tyres are overheating massively. 84 degrees on the left rear. You know, in theory, you know, in the 80 degree C range is fine, but apparently not for wet tyres. So these tyres are overheating. I don't know if we should switch to intermediates or not, or whether this is a setup issue. Oh, now the front left is overheating too, so I don't know what to do. We're losing a lot of touch with the cars in front of us. I'm not doing anything crazy with the setup. It's a pretty normal setup. You know, in retrospect to, you know, all the other tracks we go to, I haven't done anything crazy. Like the front suspension is fine. Not done anything crazy with the camber, toe settings. It's all fairly normal. We've got a racing point out of this race. Potentially 2 now as they both make contact. K-Mag and Lance Stroll basically shooting each other in the foot. It was Lance Stroll who didn't give his teammate any space on the exit of the final corner. But yeah, the tyres are just getting worse and worse. So I think I might switch to intermediate tyres. I don't know. What if I switch and it doesn't solve the problem.
We're expecting the rain to get better in around 5 minutes. Light rain in 5 minutes' time. 4 wets seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Yeah, it's really strange. Bottas is all over us at this stage. We're losing touch with Giovinazzi. We've run wide at the hairpin, and Bottas is through to P13. So, realistically, we need to make a decision, because if we just carry on as we are at the moment, we may not score points in this race. The field is so closely matched. We need to dive it in for Inters. I feel like that might be our only saving grace in this Grand Prix, because, yeah, if we carry on anyway, I don't think we're on for a good result. So we're going to chance it, given that we are down the order and off the pace. I'm hoping that this is a intermediate level track right now, and for some reason the AI are making it work on wet tyres when they really shouldn't be. So we'll see as we rejoin on the circuit. Verstappen pumps in a fastest lap, still on the wet tyres, mind you. So yeah, those guys are only getting faster somehow. It doesn't look like it's heavy rain, so I feel like it's okay for intermediate tyres. Grip straight away was fine. I didn't actually feel too fast, or I didn't feel too slow either. It was pretty neutral, to be honest. But we pump in a fastest lap of our own, and it does confirm to us that for some reason, we were the only ones struggling on the wet tyre, when the AI should have been struggling too. So that is really annoying that issue was only affecting me and not the others. Everyone should be on intermediate tyres right now, but it seems like the AI are not budging. Jeff has told me to go back to wets. Are you okay, Jeff? I've just set the fastest up of the Grand Prix, setting purple sectors every lap, and you're telling me to shoot myself in the foot again? I don't think so. My teammate's responding. All the leaders are in. Surely they're going on to intermediate tyres. Yes, they are. Ricciardo gets held in the pit lane. Again, seems to be happening far too commonly at this stage. Another fast lap of the Grand Prix, as we can see everyone rejoining on the circuit. So we took a chance. It has finally paid off. The early switch to intermediate tyres. Unfortunately, though, the trade-off will be that we have much, worn tyres versus everyone else. So our pace from here on in might not be as good versus the others around us. But we're still going purple, which is nice. But we'll see what the AI can do now that they're going to have a running go at this stage of the Grand Prix. Devon Butler pumps in a 22.5. That's, a second and over a second better than what I managed on the last lap. So, again, maybe the pace today isn't that good. It's strange. Like, I felt fast in practice. Felt fast right up through qualifying. The car felt nice. It's just the third sector, we were just massively slow. Virtual safety car is out. Let's have a look at what caused this one, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. We're going to dive it into the pits, and
they're retiring from the race.
Thank you. Anyway, we're going to dive it into the pits, and we're going to chuck on another set of intermediate tyres. We may as well take another set, because I feel like we were pretty slow versus those around us now. This is just in an effort to try and cover up our lack of pace. I feel like... What's that? Illegal overtake on Perez. Are you okay, game? Sergio Perez is ahead of me. Sergio Perez is in P13. I'm in P15. How am I supposed to let him go if he's already in front of me? I'm going to get a penalty for this, aren't I? I'm going to get a penalty. As if my race wasn't already screwed up enough as it was. We've now got a 5-second penalty for an illegal overtake, which we did not even make. Tried to do a restart or a flashback, and same result. That is the stupidest penalty I've ever seen in the history of me playing the Formula 1 game. Making a pit stop, and I get a penalty for illegally overtaking someone who was already in front of me. I'm done. This is just not my day, is it? Now the intermediate tyres are overheating. I feel like the call maybe to go in for another set of inters was the wrong one. All of this has stemmed from the lack of pace, whether it be from qualifying, overheating the tyres in wet conditions. Decided to go in for an early stop. We were a lot slower than everyone else once they put their inters on. We were on the back foot the whole race, and now with the extra stop and the 5-second stop-go penalty, it's just...
We can't take it right
It's
now.
just a bit
Waiting
too much.
next
And
lap.
now he can't even come in to switch to dry tyres because Daniel is already in the lane. The switch to dry tyres is happening now.
We're boxing this
And
lap.
we're just gonna
Give us
carry
the
on for
best
another
in-lap
lap.
you can.
I can't believe this race, like how it has all just gone so far downhill after what was looking like such a promising German Grand Prix. We had a major engine upgrade coming into this race. The reason why I didn't switch to dries is because, yeah, Ricciardo was in the lane. I was going to get held up. When you come in at the same time as your teammate, you either, well, you double stack, but your pit stop is like, your pit crew is like twice as slow as what it normally is. So half the time it's better to just carry on for another lap, which is what I'm doing, so we can have fresher tyres for later. But we're already in P9 and losing a lot of touch with those around us. Yeah, it's just been an absolutely shambolic race. Probably should have came in on the last lap as well. It just looks like I've made so many bad decisions today, which is resulted in us absolutely nowhere in this race. 5-second hold in the pit lane as well. That was for the earlier penalty, which we didn't deserve. But yeah, 9 laps left to go in this race. This is by far the worst race of career mode I've had on this game. The only thing that can save us now is a safety car. Lucas Vega pumping in a fastest lap. We're going to see if we can do the same and take away a singular point away from someone inside the top 10. I believe we do have the fastest lap at this stage, but it's little consolation. We're getting towards the end of the race now. Still no sign of a safety car. It's very wishful thinking, given that we haven't had a safety car in the best part of 32 races. Trying to expect one now on one where you're having a bad day, I think is very wishful thinking. Another fast lap of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton wins the race. Devin Butler comes home in a very close P2. But for us, it is going to be no points in the German Grand Prix. The only consolation is that Ricciardo is up there. Ricciardo is fast. But we're going to lose a lot of points in the championship, unfortunately. So from here, I'm just bringing the car home. Once I realized that the safety car wasn't going to come out, I basically turned the engine down, turned the battery down. I'm not even shifting out of 7th gear. I'm trying to save the gearbox as well. Just really trying to look after all the components. I did consider retiring with a few laps to go, but I decided to press on just for the rivalries. And there we go. Worst race of the season.
Sorry about that. I guess it can't all go to plan. Bring her in. We'll go over what happened in the debrief.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So, Hamilton gets the W. Charles Leclerc gets on the podium. That'll be a sight to see if he can do the same tomorrow. I'm really hoping Charles can win the race with the speed that Ferrari showed all through this weekend. In real life, I'm talking about. That they should be half a chance if they play their cards right. But yeah, for us, it was just a horror weekend. One to forget. Haas were nowhere again. And it's probably down to the fact that, again, I didn't make it into Q3. I haven't been present in Q3 for the longest time now, it feels like, in career mode. You know, it's hurting Haas, it's hurting my teammates, because whenever you're not present in a qualifying session, it reverts back to Season 1 stats, and Mercedes keep getting pole, Ferrari are up there as well, and Hamilton keeps lucking into it, for lack of a better word. So we lose a lot of points in the driver's standings. Constructors, still in P3. Red Bull makes some good gains on us. But yeah, it's just a bad day, to be honest. That's all I can really say. We've had a really good run in the last few races lately, but today is just one of those ones where I don't know. I just made the wrong decisions at pretty much every turn, and it was an absolute disaster of a race. So rivalry tightens up for both myself and Devin Butler and Daniel Ricciardo. We get some consolation in the form of some resource points, which we'll use to spend on the car. So we'll have a think about where we need to improve, and then we'll go from there. Gutted.
What on earth was that performance? Come on, this isn't bumper cars at the fairground. Your results and conduct here matter, so pay more attention. We can't afford too many races like that.
Thanks, Emma. Really appreciate it. Lovely, kind words of encouragement, as always. But there we go, guys. That has been this episode of Career Mode for today. I'm sorry to bring a downer on things, but I do take it to heart when I have bad races like that. I really do care about like performing well and being consistent and being in the championship fight. When Hamilton gets the full complement of 25 points, it's hard to bounce back from that. But we got to keep pushing. Got to keep upgrading. Got to keep plugging away, getting points, and then hoping that things go our way later on in the season. We're doing some upgrades. I think I wasn't even looking at the screen. I had my hands in my head, to be honest. So I think we went for a major rear downforce upgrade. I can't quite remember. It was the one that failed last episode in Silverstone. So hopefully when we get to Hungary, we'll have the front and rear downforce upgrades, and that'll mean we won't have to worry when we come to, tight and twisty corners, which Hungary is full of. So we'll see how we go. We're also going to upgrade something within the durability of the car. I'm thinking either gearbox or the energy store. I think I might go for energy store. We really only struggle for gearbox reliability at literally the Monaco Grand Prix, and that's it. So I think energy store will be the one we target going forward. Might do another engine or ICE durability upgrade, but otherwise I feel like we're okay for now. We'll continue to plug the little holes, weaknesses in the car that we see whenever they pop up and whenever they appear. But once we get this downforce sorted, I feel like we'll have a really good package again. But anyway, that's it for me today. Sorry about all the waffling, and hopefully we can bounce back in a bigger and better way next time out at the Hungarian Grand Prix. We'll see if we fixed our weaknesses. Until then, I'll see you next time.